So, we are, because of Sheetalji, I was thinking we can give some background about this. Will that be fine? And okay, Sheetalji, you are first coming for the first time, so I will give some little bit of 15 minutes of introduction about this whole session. And then we will probably, you can ask some question and then we'll come back to where we had left from the last class. Preeti is
Thank you,
also.
sir. It's generous of you. And thanks to all the participants also.
Thanks. आ जाओ. Somebody else also came. Actually, there is, because of latecomers, it's better to start when everybody comes. We have 90 minutes is good enough for us. So I will start about the introduction to this particular session, specifically for Sheetalji. And this session is basically to understand 3-4 things. One is how to control mind, how to control thoughts, how are thoughts created. This is what we wanted to discuss in this particular session. And if we are able to bring that practice to control our thoughts, that method, then we can go to the next steps of finding something more about the what theosophy is supposed to pursue, and what we are supposed to pursue in theosophy, like the cosmic science, the science of humanity, all that understanding more scientifically and spiritually, uh, convergence of both. This is what we intend to do. Discussion about energy from scientific perspective, discussion about consciousness from scientific perspective, and maybe some other topics to see them more scientifically, because we see a lot of things in our life spiritually and mystically. To remove the element of mysticism, उसको भेज देंगे आउटडोर में, बहुत noise आती है. So to remove the element of mysticism, to understand things more scientifically, and why to understand everything scientifically, also all that kind of discussion we can have later on. But to understand things scientifically, to understand things more deeply, we also need clarity of mind. Now, clarity of mind is how to exploit the mind, the capability and the abilities of mind, which can actually uh, discover a lot about the cosmic science, which our founders have been doing it, have done it, whether it's Annie Besant or Krishnamurti, Madam Blavatsky. They were high level of spiritual scientists. And this should be the objective in theosophy, I feel. Though we read a lot of books, but all the founders have actually recommended that we should uh, explore our own self through self-inquiry. So the method is self-inquiry. Jyoti ji, good morning. We are actually recapturing what we discussed in the basis of the this session for the sake of Sheetal Goleji, who has joined new. And initially we were just 2-3, but now we are 6-7 of us. So maybe if you don't mind, we can just recapture the objective of the session, which I was explaining to Sheetalji, and then we'll come back to this. So,
Yeah.
so Sheetalji.
So good morning, Shivji. You please continue. आपका जो session चल रहा था.
अच्छा. So the objective of this session is to, first of all, clear our mind of all the unwanted thoughts, so that that machine is available to us, the brain is available to us to process what it should be processing. Due to unwanted thoughts, we are actually distracted and diverted into other directions, and unwanted distractions are there, which does not allow the mind to actually, the brain to work for what it should be aligned to. So with that in mind, we the last, I think 8, 9, 10 sessions have gone in discussing, understanding how the brain works, how the thoughts are produced, and then we came to uh, the method. We were trying to uncover each and every aspect of reason for the trigger of thoughts. Now, just the last thing which I will mention again, how the thoughts are produced. We have sensory organs and we have a memory. The sensory organs are they are the window to the external world. And as they say that go internal, be internalized. But due to the sensory organs which have been given to operate in this on this planet for our sustenance and survival, they also get misused, and unnecessary inputs are taken into the brain which are not needed. Apart from what is needed, a lot of unwanted information is being taken in. Though the sensory organs are open 360 degree, but it is for us to decide what to take and what not to take. So this is where the catch is. This is what has to be understood, that what do we take and what do we not take. Because sensory organs will give you all kind of inputs. If you are going through some place where there is something which you may not consume, that you can ignore it or you can consume it. Choice is with us. If on the roadside there's some street fight going on, it's up to you to get involved in it or not involved in it. So there are so many things happening around us. It's up to us to see where to get involved, what to consume, what not to consume. We have so many news channels. It is for us to decide, should we consume, should we not consume. So these sensory organs are giving inputs to us. And when the inputs reach the brain through a signal, it is a signal because it's a flow of electricity. Whatever the sensory organs is capturing, that capturing is happening scientifically. Whatever I seeing, it is happening scientifically. There is a energy. This is energy flow. Whatever is captured through an energy flow. And when it is brought to the sensor, it goes to the brain in form of a signal. So signal is an input to the brain, and every input will create output. So what kind of output it will create, this is what has to be understood. So when a signal reaches the brain through any sensory organs, whatever we see, how do we interpret it? How do we perceive the signal, good or bad, or even we can ignore it. If we ignore it, then it will not, we'll become inert to the external things. We will decide what to consume, what not to consume. Now, how this will happen, this is what needs to be understood. So the brain is processing every signal based on the programming it has been programmed to process. And that programming is conditioning of every individual during their formative years or during their upbringing. So this is a pattern which gets repeated and it becomes like a program, and brain is automatically, or we say naturally, processing those signals from the sensory organs. And that becomes a habit or nature. And we call it's happening naturally. I am not able to stop it because it is a program. Brain has been programmed to do like that. Now, in these sessions, we are trying to see how does the awareness come into picture? What is awareness? What is self-inquiry? Through that self-inquiry, we have come to a realization that we are bombarded with many unwanted thoughts. Now we have to figure out why are these thoughts coming. So if we have that questioning in our mind, we will be able to find the reason for those thoughts. So I had done some my own self-inquiry through which I came to these conclusions, which I am trying to share. to my experience in these sessions. So the brain is programmed in a certain way. We have human qualities. Human qualities are tuned in certain ways during our formative years. And with the passing time, they become more and more strong and rigid. As we reach 40, 50, we become very rigid. The rigidity is that the programming conditioning is becoming more and more strong. And it becomes as the programming becomes more and more strong and rigid, it's even more difficult to change it. So first thing is to realize that I am creating certain thought which is not needed. So the awareness and self inquiry will start capturing those thoughts which are bothering us. Once we know that this thought is bothering me, then my self inquiry starts, that what is the reason for this thought. So then we come to the human qualities, and this is what we call dharma, and this is what we call even religion. Every religion is same. Dharma, dharma is just, it's a rule, it's a design of humans on which they should operate, or guna and avguna. These are the guna, the human qualities on which every human should operate. Now, the whole problem is every human is operating differently because all the qualities are tuned differently due to the conditioning they've gone through and the understanding they have developed. Understanding is nothing, it's basically the programming which they've gone through, the influences, social influences. You can call them social influences. Influences are comprising of the teachings or the examples we see through our within our own house, within our society, within our colleges where we go to study during our childhood, and within our companionship, the friendship or the relationships, whichever relationships we have in the family and relatives, all those are influencing us constantly. And whatever influence, good and bad, that actually gets embedded in us. So the brain is constantly processing. Now, if you realize that I am having a thought, so what needs to be seen here is we have to see each and every human quality. How is that quality there in us? Are we jealous? Are we constantly comparing? Are we caring? Are we compassionate? Are we empathetic? Are we egoistic? Are we greedy? Are we driven by our needs or by desires? Do I know what are my needs? Do I understand what are my desires? And what is the difference between need and desires? So there are some 40 odd qualities which I have listed in my book also. The basis of this discussion is also based on the book which I wrote about meditation and mind control, and where I've actually captured the entire methodology and explained this in a very structured way. So after understanding that we need to understand how the qualities are tuned in us, then we will realize it is these qualities which are the source of the thought, or the way, due to these qualities, the brain is processing every signal from the sensory organs or the memory in a certain way. And it continues to process all the signals in a certain way without any deviation. Only when you realize that it is the jealousy which is there in me, which is constantly acting on me. That's why the thought, if I can't see somebody happy, I can't see somebody successful because of jealousy. I should be happy to see others happy, but I am not happy to see others happy. I am always jealous, or maybe not always, but sometimes. So it depends how much that jealousy is, what intensity and how frequently jealousy works on me. Maybe somebody is not very jealous to see some friends doing well, but they may be jealous to see their own sister or brother doing well. So the more relationship you're close to certain relationship, the intensity of that quality is higher, because who matters more to us in our life also creates that intensity higher compared to those who don't matter to us. So we don't react to everyone, but we react to somebody who matters to us more than somebody who doesn't matter to us more. So when we start seeing these qualities impacting us, then only we realize that we need to stop this. We should not be unhappy to see somebody happy. We should not be jealous. We should not be comparing. And this is what is the method of self-inquiry and introspection and contemplation, or you can call it meditation. That because when I can find some time in my day where I can do this introspection about any thought which has been bothering me and try to look at different human qualities, uh, good and good, how they are impacting, then I'll understand that these are the sources of negative thoughts in my mind. And with this kind of method, with this kind of analysis, I'll be able to put a stop to these triggers and bring a change in that, because till the time you don't introspect, till the time your awareness is not trying to catch these triggers, you will not be able to give a feedback to the brain to consider that signal differently and to create a different kind of thought. So imagine if you don't compare, if you don't become jealous, so the kind of thoughts which will get triggered in you will be very different. And they will not be creating a negative thought in you. They will not be creating a thought of hatred or anger in you. They will be creating a thought of happiness. Because if I become happy to see people happy, because now why should I be happy to see others happy or other people succeed in life? Because it is their karma. Whatever anyone is doing, it is their karma. It is their destiny. How karma and destiny are interlinked, because the karma creates destiny. Prarabdha, अपना संचित प्रारब्ध होता है, different kind of प्रारब्ध are there. So past जन्मों के प्रारब्ध हैं, कर्मा है, उसके फल भी अभी मिल रहे हैं. There are prarabdha, the karmas of this birth which have already been committed. We are redeeming the fruits of those also. The fruits can be bitter and sweet also. Similarly, whatever we are doing now, we are creating our destiny there also. So destiny is, people say fortune or misfortune, that is destiny. And that is nothing, just the law of karma, the core of theosophy. The core of theosophy works on law of karma. It talks about law of karma and it explains the science behind the karma. How this science is there. This whole creation is based on law of karma. Now, what is karma? What is thought? This has to be understood scientifically. We will discuss in next classes that thought is basically a force. Thought is a signal, and everything in this world is energy. What we say consciousness, that's all energy. So thought is a force. So because any output of any energy signal will create a force. Now that force is going to act on us. So if it is a positive force, if it is a negative force, it is going to act on us. It is going to act on our body. So if we are creating negative thoughts, it is going to act on some of the organs in the body. It is going to interfere with the normal functioning of the body. So it is not just simple worries we are creating, negative thoughts we are creating, but they are also acting on our body. And over a period of time, that generation of thought, negative thought, is going to act in a harmful way on any particular organ, because any unwanted force on the body, apart from what is required, it is interfering with the whole functioning of the human's body. When it is interfering with the functioning of the human body, somewhere, wherever the malfunction is happening, that part of the body will be affected. So when we say that we are having some problem, it is actually, if you really see scientifically, the origin is coming from the mind only. Because the physical body is actually not, doesn't have any intelligence. It doesn't, the physical part of the body is not a reason for any disease. Because the physical part of the body is completely controlled by the brain. our subconscious functions of digestive system, respiratory system are automatically, involuntarily happening. They are all programmed. The human body is programmed to function. But in addition to that, if there is some external stimuli force which is coming due to some negative thoughts, negative force which is now going to act on the body. Now, why this force is acting on the body? Because we have as a human, we are a electric machine. We are a machine, and there is a current flowing through the entire body. And with all the commands, the forces, the thoughts which are being generated is creating a aura. What we call aura, it is basically a electromagnetic field which is being created. The whole universe is a piece of energy, and there's a constant flow of energy, and the energy is constantly getting transformed in different forms. So as the energy is constantly getting transformed and created and transformed, it is not getting destroyed, but it is changing forms. It is getting created, but it is getting then transformed into some other form. It is in a closed loop cycle. So when there is a change in energy, and if it is not a good energy, it is bad energy. If we are generating worries and negative thoughts, the electromagnetic, the field which we are creating is actually interfering with the functioning of the body itself. And it will also interfere with the external field. Now, what is external field? There are 10 people in a room, and there is one person who's constantly creating negativity. So that person will be very much noticeable because his negative field is constantly interfering with the not so negative field of the others. So because of this field interaction, we make judgments about each person through the body language and through something which is not visible, which cannot be explained because it is happening electromagnetically. We don't have any reason to explain. We cannot explain it through words, but scientifically, this is what is happening. So the force, this whole universe is running on force and the thoughts and the cumulative thoughts and the cumulative energy of a community, a family, a society, a country. So there is a collective consciousness, collective energy. And universe also tend to create a balance. If there is an imbalance happening, universe will create an imbalance. Whether you see California fire, whether you see typhoons, whether you see earthquakes, there is a tendency to retort to create a balance because balance has to be there. We have studied ecological balance. There is an ecological cycle. So there is a cycle. And in that, there is a balance which will naturally happen. So when we say pralaya happens, when there is extreme negativity, then the balance, the nature will create a balance through destruction. It will destroy all sources of negative energies. So if you really understand the cycle of yugas, Satyug, Dwapar Yug, Treta Yug, Kal Yug. Kal Yug, end of Kal Yug leads to destruction. So we are in a cycle. We are in a cycle of we get composed, we get decomposed, composed, decomposed. And civilization will get composed, decomposed. And how this yuga cycle is changing, that is also a great science. Why Kali Yuga is, why there is Kali Yuga, why people are behaving like this in Kali Yuga, why people are behaving like this in Satyug, why the behaviors are, why the good are tamasic, sattvic, tamasic good ke hote hain, what is the correlation with the energy of the sun which is revolving on another star, how the change of distance and the change of energy creates that change. So this is all a science, and we are going through that cycle and cycle of जैसे बोलते हैं Lord Shiva is a creator and a destroyer, and it's a destroyer and a creator. So there is a creation and destruction which is happening, but it is energy. Nothing is getting destroyed. It is only changing forms. So what we see we call destruction is the destruction of the negative entities. The earth will not get destroyed, but the negative entities like humans, they will get destroyed. They will be recreated and again go through the cycle. So there's no total destruction. It is a destruction of certain form which is creating an imbalance in the system. If I am going to create an imbalance, I will be eliminated. The nature will eliminate it. Well, this is a very vast topic to discuss. It can go into many areas of discussion. Where there is a prediction that the destruction will start from a certain cult, maybe from Middle East, maybe from America, maybe from Europe, so you can see how the world order is changing, what is happening in the world, where are the destructions happening, how India is, where are the spiritual centers, where are the problem areas, how the nature is.
India happened in 2013 in that is Himalaya.
So how is the nature hitting those people who are creating problem in the whole world? Which are the centers of negativity? Which are the center of destruction? The triggers for all the tamas. Where is tamas? Where is rajas? Where is sat? So see how the nature will take over. So this is what the whole discussion was. And Sheetalji, if you have any question, then we'll come to the we'll continue with from where we left last time. If you understood something.
Yes, yes. No, sir. No problem. And no questions. You can carry on. I have understood.
Okay.
Only one thing, retrospection, खुद का जो देखना है. So, am I angry? Oh, find reason. Am I jealous? Find the reason. And any more points which should be thought?
Yeah.
In the starting only, you told how to retrospect own self.
Yes.
So, what are the points on which we should think? It is jealousy and anger, and any more points? There are, but I'm forgetting.
So there are many गुण हमारे बहुत सारे गुण हैं उनकी पूरी एक लिस्ट बनानी चाहिए. And like in my book, I have listed out 40 human qualities which need to be introspected. I can actually get my book and read out all. I will just get my book. I will read out all the qualities, and this is what has to be discussed in each session. I have created one human mirror, something which I call human mirror. And human mirror is this is what is needed for our sadhana. Like no ego, truthfulness, selfless, patient, not comparing, not jealous, generosity, caring, compassion, passion, hardworking, responsible, tolerant, no anger, no greed, detached, no expectation, no hatred, loving unconditionally, sacrificing, forgiving, kind, destiny believer, not controlling, accepting mistakes, trusting, fearless, confident, not calculative, logical, quick decision, joy of giving, simplicity, austerity, grounded, no lust, acceptance, surrendering, empathy, not manipulative, letting go, not possessive, organized, neat and hygienic, no desires, not harmful, gratitude. 47 qualities I have listed, which I could think of. And each quality has to be thought, because in any particular thought or action we do, or any situation which we come across which is bothering us, if you really sit with this human mirror and look for each quality which was there, because all these qualities are actually there in every thought and action. You will find presence of all good and avgun in all our thoughts and actions. So the introspection is not just about just comparing and jealousy. I just gave them as an example, but there are so many human qualities which should be to which we should be aligned to. And when we are aligned to the sattvic qualities, then we say we are dharmic. That is dharma. Our dharma is that do all the karam as per dharma. That is dharma. कर्म एंड धर्म का ही खेल है. यही उपनिषद में लिखा है, यही हमारे वेदांत में है, and यही थियोसॉफी में है. There's nothing else for a human person, for a human. So when you do introspection, you have to analyze each and every quality of yours to really understand how are your qualities impacted. Now, what the practice, the method is that before even I start analyzing any quality, any thought and action, first thing I should set is I take this table, I put a scale of 1 is to 10 and sit and mark your qualities. You will be able to understand that suppose I'll look at ego, no ego. In no ego, am I at 1 or am I at 10 or am I at 5? What is the situation? What is the situation? Where do I stand in ego? Where do I stand in compassion? Am I very compassionate? Also, should I have no ego or should I have ego? Even a lot of people have a doubt about that. Compassion, should I be fully compassionate, selfish, selfless? Should I be selfish? Should I be selfless? So these I think we all should know that we should be selfless. But how many times we are selfish? Why are we selfish? And what happens when we are selfish? When we are selfish, we will generate thoughts, negative thoughts. When we are selfish, we'll have desires. We'll be greedy. We'll have expectations. So one quality will create many other negative qualities in us. And this is what needs to be introspected. So last time we discussed jealousy and comparison. I think we discussed these two qualities in 2-3 classes. And today I was thinking we will discuss jealousy and ego. Because recently I came across many examples of jealousy and ego. And ego is something, ego makes us ignorant. Ego is inversely proportional to ignorance. Or ego is directly proportional to ignorance, and ego is inversely proportional to knowledge and wisdom. So if we have ego, our wisdom and knowledge, we lack in knowledge and wisdom. And if we don't have ego, we will be actually enlightened or self-realized. Our mind will be free from all. We will not be a slave of the mind. The mind will be our slave. So ego does not allow us to learn. Ego makes you feel that I know everything. Ego doesn't allow you to do even introspection. And ego also makes you ignorant because you just don't know how you're behaving. Like, for example, last 2 days I'm conducting some activities in my society where I live. We have 440 families in my society. And I want to convey a message to the management committee. I give one message to the secretary. He does not bother to even respond for 24 hours. And he's supposed to share that message. So much ego they have. Like, I am conducting some activities in the society. So the people who are on the committee are there, they are jealous that he's been able to organize so many things. So instead of being happy, they are getting jealous. And when they get jealous, they become manipulative. Now, because of jealousy, they are not happy that they feel he's getting the fame. So there's a desire for fame. There's a desire for money. There's a desire for power. There's a desire for acknowledgement. So there's a desire for a social identity. We create false social identity. We want to have an identity. We want fame without doing anything. And we prevent people from doing something. We go to what extent? We prevent people from doing something who's doing good. So you are in a committee, you are in a responsible position, but you are preventing somebody who's doing good. So the person who's trying to do good face more problems because people have such high ego. They are unhappy to see others happy. They are unhappy to see somebody even doing good for them also. Actually, this community belongs to everyone. And if you're trying to do good, why should you prevent somebody who's doing free service? So even if you're doing free service, for the benefit of the community, there are people to stop it. Why? Because they are jealous. They should be famous. People should be coming and thanking them. Whether they do anything or not, that's different. And if somebody is doing, they don't want that person to do. Now they want to prevent him. So this is a kind of society. We are all grown up, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old. But this is the kind of way people behave in the society today. And this kind of behavior is very, very prevalent all across, wherever you go. We are very opportunistic. Like I see on LinkedIn, I know somebody from my previous company. So LinkedIn is another place of great example of opportunism. If people need something, then only they will respond to you. If they don't need anything, even if they knew you very well, now they will avoid you. And there is an assumption that this person is contacting me because maybe he needs something from me. And the best thing is, yesterday I contacted somebody because I would have benefited him, but he must have assumed that I am looking for a benefit. So I shared my number with that person, and he said, I will keep your number. And he did not share his number with me. I was actually contacting him so that he can come and give a lecture in my society on wealth management. He's a financial advisor. I didn't tell him what I want. Before I could even tell him, he already assumed that this guy must be looking from something from me. So he did not share his number. So this is, you see how psychologically how people are operating. And what is wrong if somebody is taking some benefit from you? Nobody is stealing away your money. If you can benefit, so the generosity is missing grossly. Selfishness is one extreme, and reverse generosity is another extreme. So if you are generous, joy of giving comes. And if you see all the karmas human perform are not primarily towards yourself. All the karmas are primarily towards somebody else. If you are as a mother cooking, you're cooking for others. And if through your karma you can't make others happy, then you have failed in your karma. All my karmas, whatever if you see, I do, even what I see for myself is for my body only. The body is also being given to me. It is not my own body. But there are some karmas which say this is my karma that I have to eat food. That is for the body. And then you realize who you are. There's nothing, physically there's nothing. We are just a soul. And scientifically we will discuss in subsequent class what soul is as an energy. You will realize one point of time that we are nothing. We cannot define ourselves actually. We don't have any definition only. But see how we create our identity through selfishness, through these tamasic qualities. It's basically all the tamasic qualities which are the reason for all the thoughts. And if we can change that, then only we can go exploit the brain, the capacity of the brain, the capacity of the mind. Then only we can expand our mind. Then only we can go to higher dimensions. The mind, then only we will be able to exploit the higher dimensions. The mind has a capability. We have probably more sensory organs. Presently, we are only using 5 sensory organs, which are needed for operating on this planet, for the survival of human on this planet. But then we can go to higher dimensions, which people say spiritual experiences, different clairvoyance, but it is nothing else. It is clarity of mind. If you look at J. Krishnamurti, how much clarity he had. Why did he have that clarity? Because he was evolved. He had full control over his tamasic qualities. He was operating based on his sattvic gun. If he's based on his sattvic gun, then he's free. He's free. He's a free man. The freedom is basically needed from tamas. What else is there in this world? In our own world, there is only tamas which is operating on us. And if we can get the freedom from that, then we can be like Krishnamurti. We can be like any peasant. And all these gurus, teachers, our founders have told that they all, their expectation, the only expectation our founders had of the Theosophical Society, that every individual goes beyond them and not create a blockage. We get into God worship and create a blockage. We all are equal. The universe has not created anybody higher or lower. And Theosophy says non-discrimination. But we start discrimination with our founders only. We should treat our founders as a friend. We learn from them and try to have that conviction, have that desire to go beyond them. Why not? And shouldn't they be happy if you try to go beyond them? I think they will be more happy. Others may not be. Others will think, what is he talking? But our founders will be more happy if they find a person in theosophy who's trying to go even trying to achieve even what they, and even Annie Besant's book clearly says that I'm hoping somebody will come and go even beyond this. In the preface she has written in the book. But we create, we want to just get into worshipping mode, ritualistic mode. And theosophy is not about rituals. Theosophy is about finding your own self. School of Wisdom. What is School of Wisdom? If you go to School of Wisdom website and there are some documents which are there in School of Wisdom. If you open those documents, which are some extract of lecture given by Janardhan Das, Radha Barli, you read those. They are wonderful. The messages are very, very clear by all the founders. But we don't read those messages and we get diverted into rituals. So scientifically, we don't understand what we are doing. If we do things emotionally, then we'll fail theosophically. If we do things scientifically, we'll succeed theosophically. So this is what I want to tell. And if you really do an analysis about your ego and jealousy, both are operating together. Actually, all the qualities are acting together. We discussed just one quality to understand the impact on us. How much ego is there? I will give you one wonderful example of ego, where I was teaching one student in Warsaw, in Poland. This was the case of a mother and a daughter. This lady was, I was asking her of any situation where she can think of so that we can analyze ego in that particular situation. One situation was with her colleague in the office. Another situation was with her own daughter, which she never thought she will have ego over there. So I said, I don't remember exactly the incident, what she explained to me, that she told her daughter to do something. She was a little forceful with her daughter, and her daughter was resisting it. I don't remember the exact situation, but then I told that I made her realize that there was an ego she had with her daughter. She naturally thought she can control her daughter or force her daughter to do something. But there was the element of ego, which when I made her realize that while doing a joint introspection, she was actually shocked. Because the point here is that we have ego in many transactions which we are having. We are having a lot of transactions. These are all transactions. External interactions are all transactions. And in those transactions, the ego comes in and spoils the situation. And due to that spoiled situation, there is a problem in the relationship. And then obviously there is expectation. And due to that expectation not being fulfilled, we start blaming the other person. But we forget that we are egoistic because we are trying to force something which may not be right. We don't understand the point of view or the situation the other person is in. But we try to force that through our ego. So it's our ego, which is, we are not even aware that our ego is acting on in our transactions. We are such ignorant fools that we are not aware of our own ego acting in the transactions. And this whole method, which we are discussing here, is about going back, introspecting every transaction where we are having a problem. Because in any transaction where we are having discomfort, then we need to do that analysis. So when in a day we have some 5 things bothering us, So that is the starting point. Pick up that issue which is bothering us and start analyzing how much ego was there. How many of us really do this kind of analysis? None of us do. And if you can do that, then you have begun your journey of self-realization, raising your awareness, clearing your tamasic qualities, and aligning yourself to the dharma. And when you start doing that change over a period of time, you change your patterns and you get aligned to dharma, and your mind becomes freed from all the unnecessary thoughts, because now it is actually aligned to what it should be aligned to. Presently, it is aligned to what it should not be aligned to. So this transformation is a very long drawn process. It is not so simple. But when you start doing it and you are able to bring one change, it will motivate you to do changes in all other qualities. And this is what is an exercise. You can call it a technique. Somebody might call it a technique. But this self-inquiry is the only way you can clear up your mind. And till the time you don't clean up your mind, you will not have clarity, because clarity will only come when there is no unnecessary bombardment of thoughts which are not aligned to your human qualities. Anything which is not aligned to your human qualities, aligned to your tamasic guna, is going to create problem for you only. And you will blame others. What we do is we blame others. We are constantly blaming others. We are constantly judging others. But we are not finding what is wrong in my own self. By judging others, what is happening? You are creating another negative thought. So is judging others needed? Judging your own self can only bring the necessary change in you. And even if somebody else is doing something wrong, what can you do? It is their karma. They will have to you can't transform them. They will have to transform themselves. You can only inspire them, but you can't transform them. Through your transformation, they might get inspired. Or sometimes they may not get inspired. They might completely distance away from you, because sometimes their tamasic quality is so high that your transformation makes them more jealous. But what can you do? You need to fix yourself. If others are not fixed, maybe anyone, even in your family, you are helpless. You can't change your child, you can't change your spouse, you can't change your parents. You can't. You can only change yourself. But maybe you can inspire some of them if they are destined to change. If their prarabdha has gone to given a different timeline of change, maybe not in this birth. So then you are building another expectation that they should also change. Now that expectation will only bother you. Having expectation is itself is a problem. Having expectation that somebody should do something like this itself is a problem. You can have only expectation of yourself that I should do it like this. That is my karma. And my karmas are all aligned to my responsibility. So if I'm a mother, if I'm a wife, I can only do correctly what I'm supposed to do, irrespective of others, how they are doing. That is a fact of life. But if we get driven by expectations of others' doings, then life will be miserable. And this is a test. This is a test. Can you ignore everyone? This is a test. Can you ignore your spouse? Can you ignore your child? Can you leave them? Can you focus on your karma, your responsibility? Your responsibility is to tell them not to do it once, twice, thrice. But you can't force it. You have a responsibility. There is a way of implementing, executing that responsibility. You can't go out of your way. I cannot tell somebody 3 times. I can tell somebody twice, thrice. How many times should I tell someone? My job is done, I have told. My responsibility is done. As a father, I have told my daughter 3 times. If she doesn't want to listen, it's her life. She will learn in her lifetime.
By experience.
By experience, she will learn. We are also learning. I learned so many things which my father did. I thought he was doing wrong. Now I realize why he does like this. So many things which we don't realize, we realize it later on. Not that my father told that you should eat this kind of food. My father always ate sattvic food. Same food, morning to evening. Lauki, moong ki dal, and roti. For 50 years, he ate only this morning, evening. Now I eat sattvic food. I cook my own food. Now I realize what is the importance of food. We don't even know the importance of food. And if somebody in the house is eating like that, my father was so strong that his food was made separately and our food was made separately. For 50 years, he ate only this and he died at 94. He was fit. So the point is how discipline is another very, very important thing in our life, how disciplined we are. So only our discipline is more important, not others' discipline. In the family, one person will be highly disciplined, one person will not be disciplined. What can you do? Your husband is disciplined, your wife is not disciplined, your wife is disciplined, your husband is not disciplined. All are different characters. Who's in is there any character which is same in the same family? They're all different characters. In this world, we'll find all different characters. Your sister will be complete 180-degree to you. Your brother will be 180-degree to you. When there were 4-5 brother sisters, generally two, when they are in 40s and 50s, two of them will not even look at each other. They will get into fight. At least one of them will go in his own way. He will disconnect with the family also. So slowly, we are off from all relations. जैसे चिड़िया का बच्चा जैसे ही उड़ना शुरू होता है वो फुर. Yeah.
We all know what is discrimination. In spite of that, we lack discrimination. We lack discrimination.
Acha, discrimination means how to.
Even though we know what is discrimination, in spite of that, we lack discrimination.
Yeah.
For example, we make a issue, non-issue as an issue, the issue as a non.
Because of ego.
So
Why we make a issue a non-issue? Because of ego. Like I have a very recent example today morning only. I'm going to Adyar on 8th. So I'll be out for 20 days. And I have a tulsi plant in my house, which is grown within 1 month. It is really grown like a big, almost 4 feet tall. And I was wondering what do I do with it, because I was very attached to the tulsi plant. It is considered to be sacred also. So in the morning after bath, I put water and I take as a prasad one leaf, and it keeps dropping leaves also. So I was wondering what do I do? It's grown so big. So yesterday I shared in the group. Anybody want tulsi leaves can take from me. So 2-3 people contacted me. We want tulsi leaves. Then one lady came. I said, you can take the plant only, because then I realized why not give my plant to somebody. No, it will continue to be looked after.
Actually, I am interested to have.
Really? So I'll just tell you what happened.
Plan, but not properly done by the.
So one lady posted on the group that how did you nurture the plant? I told how I nurture the plant. Now, like yesterday, this lady said, I said, you can take the plant yourself. It's a small plant. She said she will send her maid servant. And then she said, you keep it outside your door. She will come and take. I said, I will come and give it to you. This is a sacred plant. And I have nurtured it like a baby. So, if you don't value respect, then Tulsi will not grow in your house. Tulsi doesn't grow where there is negativity. Yes. Tulsi doesn't grow where there is no respect for Tulsi. So another lady, she took 2 stems from my plant yesterday. She said, give me some plant, but my plant is not growing. So they don't have the value. They don't value. And I was even cutting the stem. I was feeling so bad. I'm cutting 2 stems, because it's like a baby. So point is that people are, the ego hai. They don't even give value to a plant like Tulsi. I mean, these are all Hindu people. So we have gone above everything else. Our ego is so high that I feel ashamed to carry a plant just 50 feet away. Some servant should carry it. And then I was thinking I should give it to somebody who will come and take it lovingly. If I give it to somebody who is not taking it lovingly, it doesn't respect it, I shouldn't give it to, because this plant is like, when we had dogs, the dogs gave birth to pups. So we wanted to give it to somebody who will really look after them, but people are not like that.
It will die.
So what Mr. Naidu is telling, that we create issues out of non-issues. Rather than taking the plant yourself, now you're discussing that 12 o'clock you leave the plant outside. Okay, you hang it outside, don't put it down. Tomorrow I will take it. I said I will come and give it. No, I'm going out. I said, hell with you. Why should I give it to you then? So so we make, Mr. Naidu's point was that we make issue out of a non-issue, mountain out of molehill, out of our ego. And that's why we suffer. And we are all suffering. We are suffering because of that only. Because we are creating the pattern with the brain is one stupid thought leads to many negative thoughts. And then we become manipulative, calculative, and we have created a mess for ourselves. हम लोग दलदल में ही जी रहे हैं.
That is a bottleneck.
That is a bottleneck. So I stop here. It's been 1 hour, and leave the forum open for discussion. Sheetal ji, you like to say something because you come for the first time.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy that I'm happy to join this session. I'm enjoying.
Okay. Okay. क्या बोले?
These people don't know the plant.
Huh?
Tulsi is basically the plants. All laws are applicable to Tulsi also, like other plants.
Other plant.
They didn't know that there is a life also.
Yeah.
They are very sensitive.
Yeah.
Naturally, you will say that even if they are taking again their nest with their house, it will not go properly. When you come return after 20 days, you find that some problem will be there. Because the atmosphere is not very favorable. Negativity.
I can tell you, in my house, the plant used to get literally burnt. जल जाता है वो.
Yeah.
So my wife tried many times to grow tulsi plant. It became burnt literally.
Same thing in the animals also, pet animals.
Yeah.
They will only take from there are people in the house, 5, 6, 7. They will only prefer some point.
Yes.
They will take, otherwise they will not take. They will wait for you.
Yeah.
For hours they will wait for you. When you're coming, suppose 7 o'clock, evening, morning, whatever time, they will wait, they will take only food from a particular person only. This is what we have learned now.
They understand law.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm feeling
Cat
so.
particularly and dogs very sensitive.
I am feeling so guilty that I cut 2 stems of the tulsi plant. But then I was wondering, should I? Because I had offered leaves, not the stems. And today I cut the 2 stems because she wants to grow it. So I said, fine, to procreate, it is okay. You can use this plant to procreate.
Yeah.
But like now I was seeing my feelings associated with the plant.
I am in search for this lovely plant, this tulsi. It has got its own beautiful properties. Plus,
Yeah.
it repels snakes.
Okay.
It repels snakes.
Mhm.
It doesn't allow. And at the same time, the pollution part of it also is taken care of.
I've also grown people plant. Actually, I didn't grow. Some bird came and put the seed for people. And it is grown now 3 feet tall. So people is also very good. It gives oxygen. So these 2 plants are very, for me, very sick. I can give all my plants. I have grown many other fruit plants in my balcony.
Tulsi is one of them. I'm very happy.
So we'll discuss
I'm
that.
very happy.
So anything, Jyoti ji, how are you?
Just 1 second. Yeah. So I like the lecture because you quoted the examples from day-to-day life, and we could match it somewhere with our own experiences. So that was really enjoyable. And please keep quoting such examples so that the things get more and more clear very easily.
Yeah, actually the whole idea is we basically learn from our own day-to-day life, and the discussion should, if it revolves around day-to-day situations, then it becomes easy to understand and easy to analyze. I will give you another example of ego with the same lady who was learning from me in Warsaw. This was an example of she had a problem with her colleague, or I would say she was rather senior. The lady with whom she had problem, she was working in it was a film studio. It was like a film studio, big film studio of Poland, and they were in different departments. So this lady, the lady who was learning from me, her name I don't remember now. So she quoted one incident that she said, I had a fight, I had got into a fight and I'm in a bad mood. This weekend was very bad. And it was on Friday and she came to my class on Saturday. I think. She had a very bad Friday weekend and I'm very much disturbed, this, that. So I said, what happened? She said, I just asked that lady to do certain things. But she responded like this in a very bad way. I just asked her. I said, what did you write to her? So she showed me the email which she wrote to her. And then I asked her second thing is what's her age and what is her status in the the society and this your organization. It appeared that she was much elder to her and in a way senior to her, but she assumed that she is equal. And the mail she wrote was kind of giving an instruction to her. It sounds like you are giving instruction to her rather than requesting. So she got offended because of your tone. So then I made her realize that you actually got offended because of your tone. She got offended because of your tone. And she is actually your equal. And you can't instruct her. You can request her to do. So the way you write, communicate also changes. And then you retort. And so then she got, when the moment she realized that, she felt guilty. She was very extremely guilty. And then I suggested that you say sorry to her and take her out for a coffee. And she did that. So it dissolved, resolved and dissolved the whole issue. But she would have never realized it. And next incident I asked her to discuss was the thing between her daughter and her. There also she realized that there was an ego. Because daughter, motherly ego. Expectation. So point is that we don't realize we imposed ourselves on something, take for granted. He is my child, take for granted.
Seems that harmony itself is not understood by the Indian.
Yeah.
What is the harmony? It plays an important role in every aspect.
Yeah.
That itself is missing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything would have been flawless.
Yeah. So, okay, we can close this call for today. Thank you,
The
Sheetal.
ego comes everywhere.
Thank you, Sheetalji. Thank you, Avinashji. We are closing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I got many things revised in my mind,
Okay.
with, including the Tulsi plant also. I also respect it and paid to pluck even leaves. I request and ask her permission that
Yeah.
I'm taking it for Vishnu or puja or something. Then only I pluck the leaves also. And I have grown that also that earlier I was not aware of the sanctity, but I used to water it, but it got burnt. Then yes,
You're breaking. Your voice is not clear.
watered the plant in my fourth period date. Yeah, periods date. So again, then when I knew that it is burned because of this, then I never put watering in those days. And now I have also very nice tulsi and many types. I think 12 types of tulsi are there, but I'm trying to collect all the things. I have 3, 4 types now.
Okay.
And and I also know it generates oxygen. So I'm happy over this point also.
Okay.